You may have heard this before, but our beliefs create our reality. So if we have a limiting belief, whether it be I'm not good enough, whether I can't do this, whether people will judge me if I become successful, or I'm not good enough to do this, whatever the limiting belief might be, if we have one of those, it's going to hold us back so much. And we're going to sabotage any opportunity that comes up because we feel like it's unsafe or that belief is holding us back. So in this video, I'm going to give you a 4-step process that's going to allow you to eradicate any belief that you may have. So before we get into this, let's talk about beliefs a little bit, where they start. So our first 7 to 10 years of our life, we are in theta brainwaves, and that is the same as a dreaming state, and that's also what the state that a hypnotist wants to get someone to. What this means is we're very suggestible in that time. So if we have a thought, or someone says we're not good enough, or something happens and we think that we're not good enough, then we take that on. I believe our first 10 years are our most important to our development. Now, 50% of our beliefs are formed by the age of 5, over 50%. So would you ask a 5-year-old to make a decision about your life? Probably not. But unconsciously, we have all of these beliefs. Now, these beliefs can show up in any way, shape, or form. And so when you become conscious of one of these beliefs, we need to work through it. Before we get into the 4-step process, which is we have to understand universal law. And so one of the universal laws is law of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. So what we understand is that as above, so below is the same. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have up without down. You can't have good without bad. You can't have positive without negative. So that means if we have a negative belief, then a positive one has been created at the exact same time. We're just not aware of it because it's universal law. It can't not happen. Just like a problem can't be created without a solution, because then there wouldn't be a problem. It's two sides of the same coin, yin yang. So there has to be a positive belief to the negative belief or the limiting belief. So we understand that. And if you don't understand that, or if you don't believe it, just trust me as you go through this process and you'll see. You know, if you're sitting there saying, no, it doesn't happen like that, well, that is the thing that's probably holding you back, right? So humble yourself a little bit if you need to. So we understand that. Now, we also understand that what we choose to focus on expands. It's very similar to, you know, have you ever looked at something on Google? Maybe you've searched for something that, you know, is something completely new. All of a sudden you start seeing ads on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or something, exact locations of where you just searched, and you've never searched it before. But then all of a sudden, so what you search for, what you look for, expands on other platforms. The algorithms, they work very similar to universal law. So if you're trying to focus on something, what you focus on expands, and that's going to show up in different areas of your life. We only focus on a very small part of reality. If you imagine kind of going like this and looking through the hole in your hands there, that's about all the reality we see compared to what our unconscious mind takes in. So if we want to focus on why we're not good enough, we're going to be looking at this little part at reality and go, there's the part where I'm not good enough, and we're going to be focusing on that, and what we focus on expands. Now, you might not even consciously be doing this, but unconsciously we are. And so we need to work through this. We need to understand that belief is just a perception, and we literally can change it. We just need to look for the evidence. Now, there's some unconscious process where we can go back in time, we can hear, release, and clear those, along with this empowerment grid, which is what I call this 4-step process. With this will wipe out beliefs like nothing before. So first we need to understand, like, what is the belief? You know, is it money is hard to make? Business is hard. I'm not good enough. You know, I don't have enough. I've never had enough. Whatever the belief might be, you know, so that's the first step. We just need to become conscious of it. The second step is, and why it's called the empowerment grid, is what's a new empowered belief or decision that you want to make? Because a belief is nothing but a decision. At one point in time, you made a decision that is something that you focused on, and then it became a belief. So I'm going to use the example of money is hard to make. So money is hard to make is the first question. Then the second one is we want to create a new, more empowered belief. We could say money is easy to make. Now, what you look for is what you find. So the third question, we need to find all of the evidence that you have to back up that new belief that money is easy to make. Now, this can be for you, can be for things that you've observed in other people. It can be anything. You literally can go to work and money just pops up in your bank account. Like, you literally don't have to do anything for that money to pop up in your bank account. In the business, who knows? We could have sales coming through the door as I'm here. It's easy to make, right? If we think that it's easy to make, it's gonna be easy to make. If we think it's hard to make, it's gonna be hard to make, because our beliefs create our reality. So choose to focus on what you want, and you literally can create your reality. That is the thing. So many people, they fight so hard for their limitations. They fight so hard for their limiting beliefs. Don't do that, because that's messing you up. So allow yourself to go, you know what? I'm going to allow myself to see that this belief is bullshit, because it is. A belief is just nothing but a decision and a story that we've been told and that hold in mind, and then it kind of creates our reality. So the third step, list at least 10 ways. I would go as many as you can until you go, oh wow. You'll hit a oh wow point where it's like, wow. And then you'll look back on the old limiting belief, and you'll go,
that doesn't feel true anymore.
Awesome. So keep going. You might need to get 10, you might need to get 20, you might need to get more. You know, this process can literally take 10 minutes. If you sat down and committed to doing this process for 10 minutes for a month, man, you would be in a completely different spot. Imagine all of the beliefs, 30 beliefs you get to work on, 30 limitations that you get to clear and work through. And if they don't fully dissolve, at least you're getting a very good part of them, and you're choosing to focus on what you want now, then that's a massive step, right? 30 days. So put in the work. I'm sure most of you won't. So if you are going to do that for 30 days, drop in the comments and I'll keep you accountable. We'll get this sorted. That's the third step. The fourth step then is why. Why do you want to believe this new belief and decision? When the why is big enough, the hows figure themselves out. So we start going through, why do I want to believe this belief now? Why do I want to believe that money is easy? Because it's going to be so much more freeing for me. Now, we also want to make sure that it's the positive side. We don't want to go, I want this because it's going to mean I don't have to worry about stress. That's not very motivating. Like, we want it to what we want, not what we don't want, right? So many people are like, yeah, they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. So if you have something like that, then change it to the other side. So if you have, it's like, I don't want to feel this stress. Okay, cool. That's what you don't want. What do you want? I want freedom. I want security, whatever it might be. So then you list out 5 or more reasons why you want to believe this new decision. So then that's the 4 steps. Simple. Don't overcomplicate this. Humans have this funny way to overcomplicate the shit out of everything, but we don't need to. So keep it nice and simple. Step number 1, what is the belief? The limiting belief. The opinion, the judgment. Also, the opinion about someone is just a decision that you've made about them too, right? It's the same as, you know, maybe your partner doesn't do stuff around the house. That's nothing but a decision and a belief. And I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll find things that they do around the house, because your beliefs create reality. So if you believe they do nothing around the house, then your belief is creating that reality, and you're probably going to be doing everything and then they'll go, well, why do I do anything? Because you're doing everything. Whereas if you start letting go of that belief and just go, it is what it is, you might have the space and the capacity for them to step up and do more things. But you'll also probably find that they are doing their fair share. You're just not choosing to focus on it. It's just in a different way, shape or form to what you think doing stuff around the house is. So that's step number 1. You can do it on opinions, you can do it on judgments, beliefs, decisions, anything like that. Number 2 is, what's the new empowered way or belief or decision that you want to take from this. Step number 3 is list 10 reasons plus, more the better, of evidence in your life and that you've observed from others where this belief is true, where this evidence is, and look harder. Don't say, I can't find anything, because if you say I can't, what is underneath it is I won't. And an I won't is a decision, and an I won't is underneath that is a fear. As soon as you hear yourself saying I can't, change it to I won't, and it gives it a completely different meaning. That is a very powerful little thing. So make sure you take note of that. So then we have those 3 steps, and then the last step is, why do we want to believe this new belief or decision? And then that's it, super simple. Now give that a crack for 30 days. As I said, all the beliefs that you think you might have, all the judgments, you may need to sit with them. Like, a lot of people be there like, oh, I don't really have any beliefs. Well, I'm sure you do, because unless you are exactly where you want to be in life, then you've got limitations. You know, I've still got limitations. I've done a lot of work and I still have limitations. So it's about removing these limitations to become who we want to be and who we get to be. So let me know how you go with those 4 steps. I'd love to hear in the comments. If you like this video, obviously subscribe. If you think anyone else can really help with this, share. If you love the work and the stuff that I'm putting out, I'd appreciate if you do share it with one person, and we'll grow rather quickly and get these messages and help more men around Australia and around the world. So it's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.